Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Welcome to What Buddhism Teaches. Today I would like to talk about what the Buddhism teaches. Before we come to the details of the topic, please come to understand the word Buddhism is from the Pali word Buddha Sasana. Buddha is mean the enlightened ones. Or in the modern words we call the Buddha. And Sasana is mean teachings. It means religions. So Buddhism literally mean the teachings of the Buddha. And we can ask that, what does Buddhism teach to the world, include Buddhists and non-Buddhists throughout the world? Buddhism takes three main things. Please be clear that those three main things: first one, not to do wrong; second, to do right; and the last one, to purify our minds. You know, when at the previous topic, I forgot the numbers of the topics, but I used to say about what the Buddha taught. It's similar. It's similar. But it's not exactly the same. A few days ago, I went to Khmer temples at Santa Ana, California. I see a well-known Buddhist monk who are the highest monk or the abbot there, write the postures on the temple wall, say about Buddhism take this reading, and my brain can link to what all the Buddhas taught, like Sappapasa Akaranam, not to do the evil, Kosalaso Pasampatha, to do the good thing, Sachitta Pariyothapanam, to purify one mind. Etang Buddha Sasanam. These are the teachings of the Buddha. My brain linked to those things. So, to answer equations, what does Buddhism teach? We can't answer that. Buddhism teaches us not to do wrong, to do good, and to purify our mind. In Buddhism, it has no complication between right and wrong. There are only right and wrong. It's similar to the subjects of science, especially a subject of logic. Or there are only valid and invalid. And for the society's knowledge, sometimes we are not based on what is right and what is wrong, but we depend on what is closely to be right. Yeah. It have no absolutely right or ultimate right, like the teachings of the Buddhas or logic. So how can we understand what the difference between the Buddha teachings and the teachings of Buddhism? Personally, I think that there are some people, they believe in Buddhism, but they don't definitely follow or abide by the discipline and the teachings of the Buddha. So the teachings in Buddhism is come a little bit far from the teachings of the Buddha. It's like, this is my personal idea. It's like Buddhist philosophy. Sometime, in 2012, I used to explore a sentence that people, Buddhist communities, they believe on what they want to believe. This is what Buddhism teaches. So if we go so far from the discipline and the teachings of the Buddha, don't forget to turn back to the real teachings of the Buddha. And according to the Buddhist scholars, they define Buddhism as the path to enlightenment achieved by understanding and overcoming suffering through practice like meditation and ethical conduct. Central to Buddhist teachings are fundamental truths that remind us that life is suffering. And life is also full of suffering. And also indicates us to really know that craving is the cause of suffering, right? And second, also points out the way to the end of suffering by practice based on the 8 paths that we can summarize into morality, concentration, and wisdom. And here we just simply understand that the way that we go through on the morality, concentration, and wisdom is the way lead to the cessations of suffering. That is to overcome, to understanding, to right understanding and overcoming the suffering. It means that to approach or to obtain the extreme happiness. Yeah. And now come to say the key concept of Buddhism. First one, we have karma, rebirth, nibbana, compassion, wisdom, and the triple gems, and others. But the most importantly are the common keywords is the triple gem. The triple gem includes the Buddha, who is propound the relations of Buddhism, and in the modern words we can say that the Buddha is CEO of Buddhism. And the Dharma. The Dharma is the object or the teaching that the Buddhas use to propagate his teaching. Nowadays, we can call the Dhammas, or we can consider the Dhammas as the medicine to cure the defilements of people, to cure the lopa, Tosa, Moha. Meaning in English, Lopa is desires, Tosa is hatred, Moha is delusion. Yeah. In psychology, when we read the serious conditions like just mental disorders, or we feel so lonely, we feel stress, depression, that means that we have the mental illness in psychology. So we need to ask for consoling from psychologists. But in Buddhism, if our mind is affected by desires, by hatred, by delusion, it really means that we get mental illness. So we need to practice. We need to learn to recognize what is desires, what is hatred, and what is delusion. At least we have to know that those three mental objects in Abhidharma, or in the philosophy and psychological teachings of the Buddha, we call the three rules of unwholesome deed. So we have to recognize, and we have to know how serious they are, and then we come to learn how to control that development. The development includes desires, hatred, and delusion. And we have to abide by the methods. The methods are insight meditation to observe, to sit and observe our mind. And in daily life, we have to know the gaps. We have to know when our developments of mind occurs and maintain and disappear. To summarize, we have to know when our own development appear and disappear. Yeah. And for the Sangha here is mean to recall to unity, the unities of the Buddhist monk. And there are two kinds of monk. The first group of monk we call Arya Sangha. Arya Sangha is the monk born the monk who attained the enlightenment, or the monk one who sees the Dharma. For example, like the Buddha himself and his disciples, like most Venerable, Sariputta, Moggallana, Nanta, something like that. And the second group of monks we call Samutta Sangha. And that is the worldly monk. Yeah, means that the monk who still learn and practice the teachings of the Buddha. And the Samutta Sangha nowadays, they play very important role to maintain, to protect, and to propagate the teachings of the Buddhas. As you know, in USA or in the United States, it's not the nation that most of people believe in Buddhism, right? But it still have the Buddhist temple here and do responsible for sharing the teachings of the Buddha to one who wish to release their life from the problems of life. Yeah, that is the details of a key concept of the triple charm. And Buddhists also believe in karma, means that you do good, you gain the good results, means that you are happy. Yeah, you have happy life. If you do bad, the results of the bad things done by you lead you to be painful and suffering. Sometimes you cause painful to others. You yourself get more painful than them. And rebirth is the cycles of birth, death, rebirth, from which Buddhists seek liberation. It means that, okay, rebirth is the cause of suffering. Whenever, if you live attached to your fire aggregates, you attach to your body and mind, and you attach to the circumstance outside, and you not experience the light of the Buddha, and you don't well understand about this world, and you also don't see the impermanence of the all things existing around you. Yeah, you still get rebirth and you still experience the suffering, because impermanent is the cause of suffering. You can believe the Buddha. And Nibbana is the ultimate goal in Buddhism, a state of liberation from suffering and the cycles of rebirth. Okay, just understand that the highest goals of Buddhism is liberations of minds and the states of wisdom. So, go through the highest goal of Buddhism. We need time. Yeah, time is everything. We have to spend time as part of life and its orders by cultivate our wholesome deed, so by giving, conduct, moralities, so practice concentration, and develop our wisdom, and share this goodness to other people. How about compassion? Compassion is we need to show to the societies by our speak, compassion by speak, compassion by action, compassion by as mentors. It means that if we see one who are lower than us, see the poor, see the unwell-known people, and see one who need help. If available, okay, please help them. At least, if we cannot help them, cannot help all the people, please don't look down them. Don't do any harmful to them, because every moment or every action is our own karma. Okay, the last thing here is wisdom. Yeah, wisdom is the brightness of the world. Yeah, the sun is sunshine to be brightens at the day. The moon is gives the light at night, and also electric powers provides the lines at the dark, at home and at home. But the brighten or the lines of the wisdom is brighter than those light. So if you have enough wisdom, when you see the result, you have no any doubt. You have no any doubt, because you know each result always have its own cause. Or we can say that each effect always have its own cause. So we understand, yeah, we understand the world, we understand every existing things are impermanent. So It provides the powers of knowledge, the power of experience, the powers of intelligence, smart, and wisdom are wide enough to be accepted and be patient and be abandoned what is happening around us at the present moment. So through this topic, I hope you understand well, and please join us to protect Buddhism, to learn Buddhism, to practice Buddhism, and share the benefits of Buddhism, especially share the knowledge of liberations of minds, and to obtain the wisdom to your family, your communities, your countries, and the world, to create the world peace together. Namo Buddhaya.